ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. Welcome back to another weekly stream here today, guys. All right, it's currently Monday, 8 a.m., the 24th of August, 2026. So we're going to hop on in here. We'll see what we can do and maybe get some wins today. I will be giving a bit of a disclaimer, though, at the very start. All right, I am not entirely too sure how he will go, considering just how insane the season is at the moment. You know, whether we look at things like the lobbies or at the matchmaking, as well as other things like just the overall damage that some of these guns are putting out there. So without further ado, we do have Payday in the chat. G'day, Butter. Hi, Payday. I do see Gamer Bry as well there. Hi, Bry. How is everyone doing today? Let me know in chat right now. What time is it for you? All right, how was your weekend? Are you excited for another week? I might also go and upgrade some of our items here. I'm trying to eventually get to the point where we can have a really nice base boost, because that epic rarity for the base boost is absolutely insane. So for those of you who do not know, back when these gloves first came out, there were a few different rarities. The higher the rarity, the more uses you guys can get from them. So at the moment, the common rarity we have right now is only going to give you guys 2 of those uses there. So 1 use, then another, right, 2 of those blasts. But I believe the epic is going to be able to give us, I think, 3. Sup, Fairy Warrior, good to see ya. I do see Agmanate as well in chat. G'day, Butter. Hi, chat. 601 for Fairy Warrior. Okay, so we do have some Americans here. Let us go and see how we go today, guys. We do, of course, have some pistols here. In terms of the zone, we are going to have a pretty central and definitely somewhat mid, nice landing strip here. I wouldn't mind going for one of these ghosts. I feel like at the moment, there's just so many players and overall, you know, contestations there when going for these main POIs, you know, whether it be the Pac-Man. You know, I haven't tried Battlewoods as much just because of the real sheer lack of loot and chests that you guys will unfortunately be running into there. But whatever the case, let us go and head on down a little bit to the west there of Cluster Coast. Sora's there. Morning, Butter and chat. Morning, Sora and Shannon. Hope you guys are well today. We have Melvin Gordon. Yo, g'day, Melvin. Good to see you, bro. Nana No Clue. Morning, Mr. Butter. Hello, chat. Hello, Nana. Ferry sent hiding for 10 jewels. Thank you for the jewels, Ferry. Appreciate you, bro. Butter, good to see you. Garagala, how you going, man? We are ready for another weekly stream. I tell you what, guys, I'm a little bit nervous for the stream today. Not so much nervous, more so worried. You know, I tell you what, trying to get a really good game is quite hard at the moment. I'm trying to learn, really, like, what are the best guns? What are the best items? I think last night in my duos games, I tried to challenge myself to use one of a special weapon. You know, one of a certain weapon there. So I tried games with the Scar. I tried games, of course, with the drum gun. I tried also some different combinations there. I'm curious, do you guys have a preferred weapon right now when it does come to those primaries or shotguns? Let me know in chat. Let's see what we can get here. Of course, a nice assault rifle. We've also got the pump there, but honestly, guys, I'm not a massive fan of it. That being said, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode because there is some definite pump action going on there. All right, we do get that Ranger. And a Oni here in the purple. Oh. Okay. Hey, Butter. Love from the US, New Jersey. G'day, John. Hope you're going well, bro. I'm going to run with the 8-bit here. I think the Oni is really excellent, but unfortunately, guys, right now when I do run with the Ranger, I find it to be a little bit limiting unless we can get our hands on that Shadow Sprite. So that's going to be my overall goal. Right, someone's already going for that overdrive, which is a little bit crazy. Nana says, morning, Agmanate. We've got some overdrives there. Morning, Agmanate. Yes, thank you. Hope you are. Sorry I missed your stream. I watched it last night. Morning, Monday. Yes, Melvin. Monday morning for me. I tell you what, there could be better days of the week, but it's definitely one I'll take. I have that sonic speed here, which is going to be quite helpful. I'll read out some more chat messages in a moment, but I do see another player relatively nearby here, so going on top of high ground. right, what the Fox going down. Well played to them. Unfortunately, though, the Ranger is just really a hyper-accurate gun here. I wonder if the Mega Man can actually shoot up these things with the explosion. So, unfortunately not, but if you guys do get your hands on anything explosive, typically you should be able to fish out these ponds. So we'll see if we can't get some gold weapons. John says, haven't played the new season yet, but have heard it's the sweatiest yet. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. It is most certainly quite insane there, but you know what? I'm sure we'll get better with it in time. Trying, of course, make our way around the side here. Getting marked is not going to be the most ideal thing in the world, but that is pretty much how it's going to go. So let's go get on to a new one. Let us have a look what you guys are saying. Agmanate says it's been sweaty. Tostitos, good to see you, Tostitos. Grabbing some snacks, I'm ready. All right, let's go. Woodfin, greetings. Looking forward to see what you do with the new map. Looking forward as well, Woodfin. I tell you, I reckon this first week or two is probably going to be a little bit of a rough period for you guys to see, at least on my channel. It's definitely going to take, I think, most of us here, a bit of time to settle into and not only understand, what we've got going on for all these new weapons and stuff, but, as you said, the new map as well there. We got a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of different ways and meta shifts there. So if you guys haven't already seen it, I have dropped a leak there on one of our channel posts in terms of all the new weapons coming out, as well as the dates of when we should start to see them as well there. So really keen for the Hollow Twister and the Deadeye, personally. The Deadeye especially, I think, will be incredible, which I think will as well sort of really further cement that shift away from being a pretty notorious, pistol-heavy season, pistol meta, back in towards that realm of ARs. Garagala says, I like the dual pistols. Oh, my days. Okay, there they go. As you guys can see, you can be a really sweaty player, but they're always seen... Oh, it's Diamond JP. We'll play to Diamond JP there. We know Diamond JP, guys. They are absolutely a pretty good, formidable controller player. But as you guys can see, 2 shots is really all it takes this season. I do think that they need to do some massive nerfs across the board. My only sort of complaint with this season right now is going to be just how really a lot of damage there is. You've got a lot of one-shot ability as well, right? With very limited or really lack of counterplay potential. And so I think when you guys have these new seasons with these new additions, and we've got the Mythic Midas's one-shot pistol, you've got the Mythic Oni, you've got a legendary pump shotgun, you got 45 body shot damage on the Ranger assault rifle. We have a lot of weapons in the loot pool right now that are going to be doing a massive amount of damage. And so to be able as players more readily defend against that, to play against that, we're really sort of up to the mercy there of the FORTNITE weapon loot pool there, and just overall sorts of other game characteristics and changes. And I really do feel like the counterplay is lacking, so maybe we can keep the damage, but we do need a little bit of counterplay options there. Dare I say bring back bunkers, although I'm not too sure how much of a fix that will bring. Whatever the case, we'll go and try one of those ghosts again, and we'll have a look at chat. Melvin says the 8-bit or the Oni, good choices. For me, it's going to be the 8-bit. Anna says, I haven't played much. Looks interesting from what I've seen. Daniel, good to see you, Daniel. Oni and drum gun with Shadow Sprite. Now, that could be the tech. I mentioned that in tomorrow's episode. You guys will see, actually, Daniel, that strategy. So, big shout out to you there. Chris Cheese Brown says, hey, butter, shout out my kids, Max and Robin. Shout out to Max and Robin. They got me addicted to Fortnite. Good on you guys. Good stuff. Fairy Warrior, Shoddy, AR, other weapon, utility, and heal. I think has a lot of potential. Look, 3 weapons, guys. You guys know where I sit with this. I try to have as least weapons as possible. I want something for my long range. I want something for my close range. And then some mobility and double heals, or double heals, single mobility. You guys get the picture there, but essentially... this can be subject to change depending on the season and the meta. So if I do get my hands on that Mythic Midas's pistol, 100% I'm carrying 3 weapons. I think you'd be crazy not to. Just if you guys are decent with headshots, even if it's just, somewhat of the time, that somewhat is going to be honestly, potentially, all the difference between you losing and potentially winning that game. So really do enjoy sometimes, the occasional 3 weapons there, but it can depend, of course, on what that third weapon is. So probably like a sniper, something long range, or really just something cheesy as well. Going on in here for this rare chest, we are going to get that. You know what? We could probably try it out. I mean, it probably couldn't hurt us, to be fair. We have someone over at the cluster coast, so it's going to be a little bit risky traveling out of the zone here. But fingers crossed, there they are. Okay, old mate's getting third-partied from the other angle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this big boy. Try and, of course, dodge some of these shots. And if we can try to divert him towards where we are right now, we can sort of force him, not only one, to come closer to the zone, but additionally, we can sort of get him in these close quarters where we will be able to have a higher chance there of being able to get, land one of these nasty sort of shots on him. Okay, this is not going to be a terrible loadout right now. So we've got the pistol for the long. Old mate's going on down here for that glide. Crouching so as to not give off any of the visual audios. I assume that they're going to be on top of us here. And then we've also got this sort of jump pad that we will be able to use to escape this POI. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try and sneak up on this player now, guys. All right, coming up the staircase, we can hear him nearby. Now, if he has really good headsets, you might be able to hear some form of footsteps. We also will have this 8-bit and going for the shockwave. Coming on and out here now, we will have the high ground. Seeing if we can spot where this player went. It does look like potentially cracking the shield there. Sniper King going down for the crown. Well played to Sniper King. Let's go in and grab that crown there. All right, getting, of course, flanked by the other direction, and no glider redeploy, which is a little bit strange, but that's okay. We can go and, of course, use these jump pads to head on into zone now. Let us go, guys. Let us rotate. Let's have a look at chat as well. Agmanate says, favoring the Ranger, Rifle, and Oni, if not the pump and 8-bit. I do love the 8-bit reload animation. You blow out the cartridge. That is pretty cool, isn't it? It's definitely a nice nod there, I think, to days past there. Definitely our childhoods and what have you there. So really cool to see. Payday says, this season has been horrific so far. If I'm not being beamed out of the air, I'm beaming people out of the air. I feel like that's a pretty accurate take as well to have, Payday. So definitely on board with you there. Let's go and rotate on down. I do want to try and get my hands on some more ammunition. So we could probably try and have a look for some of these types of containers here. And additionally, keep an eye out for some sprites as well. Oh, the Jackrabbit sprite. This is going to be one that a lot of players are saying is the best sprite. As you guys can see, you get the ability to perform another jump while midair. Cooldown between jumps decreases with each level up. Going for, of course, opening the containers instead of breaking the object underneath them. Right, yes, breaking the object underneath is going to be the quicker way to do it, but you will lack that XP there. Hey, Butter. Hey, chat. Hey, Bill. Good to see ya. Got Daniel. Third parties with sweats all the time. Yeah, that's pretty much the way it seems to go, unfortunately. Let's head on out now. We've got some mobility, and guys, you can now buy these overdrive grenades at your vending machines. All right, for a pretty easy amount. I think it's between, 300 to 600 gold, somewhere in that ballpark. There's also, oh, there's a player here. It's a secret loot room you guys can go to as well. All right, being quite cautious. Oh, he's going to be right next to us here, guys. I find we have to be very, very quiet when trying to go for these other players, primarily because of just how, again, easy it is to be beamed. Okay, there he is. Shotgun out. Benny Mudd's going down there. Good on you, Benny. Let's go and heal up, guys, and we'll go and just reset this fight. Checking out at our surroundings here. Trying to be mindful, all right, that we do have potentially a lot of other players, hearing those shots and potentially wanting to come and investigate them. I probably could have used the Jackrabbit there to be able to, instead of, trying to just fight him by jumping up manually, to instead, simply just try to get that double jump up there. Great, use that shotgun on him, but that's okay, guys. Our very first game using this Jackrabbit, so very excited to see how we go with it. Having a look back at chat right now, let's see what we've got. We've got Bill saying, Tail Sprite and Mega Man Blaster, Fury from above, super fun. Definitely a strategy I have heard about occasionally. I will want to try and give that a go at some point. It reminds me of the Cube Rifle with the jumping up with a Flowberry or something similar there. So definitely giving those Magneto vibes as well from chapter... Is that chapter 5, I believe? The Marvel season there. Bill says, you can level up Crown Sprite without getting victory crowns. And then Timo Bryan says, Butter, do you have the gold Colombo yet? No, I don't, Timo. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. What is the rarest Sprite you guys will have? Let me know in chat there. We're going to keep on moving our way in. I do want to stop by a vending machine at some point just to get some white health here. I feel quite vulnerable. So let us go now. We'll go over, of course, for this redeploy. We've got a player down below there. We could probably try and go for him. I do want to try and get those barrels nearby. A little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We do have a car here as well, which we could use. Try and go for the reload on the shotgun there. I'm not entirely too sure where this player had gone. Could have gone across the road in that bush, so let's go and just rotate on in. And we'll see if we can't find a med kit here as well, guys. Just checking on through this bush, we'll go and check that chest as well. And now having a glance inside this building. Can we see any med kits on the floor? Right, there are going to be some bandages. So we'll go and grab that real quickly, and we'll go and use that inside. Agmanay says, yeah, Bill, but it doesn't unlock the next Crown Sprite. Okay, that's interesting. Timo says, I run gold tack, pistol, gold pump, 2 chugs, and 6 movement grenades. Unless I find Midas's pistol, then 1 chug and keep the rest. I think that's going to be the play there. Honestly, I think that's really, really nice. Should have some barrels here on the beach as well as one of these campfires. And if you guys didn't already know, you can actually go and park your car up next to these campfires, which is going to be great for healing your car as well. Alright, so do bear that in mind if you guys are in a car with low health. Just simply park it next to a campfire, set it alight, and you will be able to go and get your hands on some nice vehicle health there. Coming on into the gas station now, let us go and heal and refuel. Again, having a look at chat. Bill says, have only the Crown Sprite in the inventory and open chests and ammo boxes. Some barrels here. Oh, getting shot at from somewhere nearby. Potentially, look, I'm not a massive fan of this POI, guys. I find it really, really out in the open. And I do find as well that we're going to, I reckon we're going to need another week, I reckon, with this Ranger. To really get the hang of it. A lot of players are recommending to me to, of course, use the Scar there. But look, for right now, guys, I want to try and just stick to something a little bit more of that learning curve, because if I can get used to this gun, quicker than other players can get used to it, then I hope to be able to really... Oh, okay, he's gone all the way up to yonder there. Yep, okay. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. We do have old mate jumping on down, actually. It's going to be going for the third party. They go for the reload. Of course, someone's just gone down with that crown. Oh, he's got the +1. So if you guys don't know, we do have the 1-up, which you guys, I believe, can get from bosses. And what it means is once you guys die, you will be able to respawn. And as far as I'm aware, you'll respawn not only with full health and shield, but additionally, you'll have all of your items and it teleports you somewhere else. Pretty far away, which again, I'm not a fan of that. I really enjoy counterplay potential. And so when I see these changes where there's just no counterplay, it just seems very cheeky to me. Whatever the case, we will have a bush in the cider zone here. There's a nice purple for the tack. All right, let's go and just run on in here just temporarily. Let's see if we can catch up on some of these messages. Okay, let's have a look. Agmane says, Bill, I believe it's the adventurer sprite needed to activate a level up. When it goes up, level for random item in your pockets, enforce it with only the crown sprites and loadout. Daniel says, my favorite drop strategy is Wonky Land. I really like Wonky. Guys, if you don't know, we do have a Wonky drop strategy. I think we uploaded yesterday or the day before, which is going to show you how you can get guaranteed, purple and above loot a lot of times there. Bill says, have the adventurer sprite on your back and have only the crown sprite in your inventory. Interesting. We got CC. G'day, buddy. G'day, CC. Hope you're going well. Bill says, what do we got? Scarface. Wasn't even close. Nice that you can buy overrides from vending, Bill says. I reckon. I'm really a massive fan of that, actually. Because we definitely needed some more mobility. If you're going to have a lot of these beaming weapons, fair enough. But we need counterplay. We need to be able to, rotate in and out of these fights to... There goes Diamond JP going down to a Jason. Jason is a really great player. I've seen his name a couple of times. So I will be very interested to see how we go up against them for this late game. I'm going to try and do a late rotation here. So not so much a late, but a very sort of wide flank around the side. Fading in sort of that corkscrew method here. I dare say this bush should be in the zone, but unfortunately getting marked now. We don't really have a massive option here. So I'm going to just try and get some space here. And what we'll do is we'll shockwave back up towards that zone. But I really just want to have this player think that we're going somewhere else that we're really not. So there we go with that Jackrabbit. Coming on down inside here, we'll pick up a few more of these overdrives, which is going to be absolutely excellent for us. Going back up for high ground. We're checking our weaker defended 6 there. You have, of course, a nice redeploy potentiality there with the sort of wind tunnel, as well as another overdrive, which we could pick up. It's going to be crouching because we know that there was a player to the right. And as you can see with that scan, he's still going to be in that POI. So checking the rooftops of this POI is helpful, as well as just glancing down below here. All right, we've got some nice rocks. We've got ice sight on vending machine as well, in case someone does, want to try and go for that vending machine. Footsteps nearby. We've got the bush here. Now, this is where the ranger is not going to excel, guys. In these close range situations, the ranger is going to be quite unfortunate. So having a fast fire rate secondary there is going to be quite key. We've got Woodfin saying 8-bit pistol, sonic shoes, chug chug. Oh. OCE Uwu Kitten going down there. We'll play to Uwu. Going to be the mythic there actually for that gun. Shocking on and out now. We'll go and rotate on into that zone. Try and, of course, make your body as moving at the target as possible, hitting that left and right. And wow, NMN Lucky has made a Jason a victim of the Midas's masterpiece. So we do have the mythic Midas in the game right now, guys. It is currently in play, and that's who we're going to be going up against here. So the one-shot pistol, really, there's not an awful lot of ways to counter this. Unless we can find a bush in zone. That's not going to be in zone. We've got some nice cover here. We really just want to try and, I think, just purely outplay this player, right? Which is going to be a little bit hit and miss, considering we aren't entirely aware of his position. Now, if he's got that flare gun, this could be quite troubling and potentially traumatic for us. Potentially coming around the left side. I always want to... Oh, there's a beautiful bush right in the center here. I'm going to remove our markers. Can we get a crown win for the first game of the stream here today, guys? I feel like you got to play a little bit like this right now. Playing aggressive, gone are those days, at least until we get used to these other types of items. So I want to be very mindful that, again, we don't know how many shots he's got in that pistol. And it is, there he is, one shot. Tell you what, I'm feeling absolutely unfortunate right now. I don't think he knows exactly where we are. Or at least he's not really signaling to me that he knows. Usually when players do know where you are, they sort of look towards you. They sort of run towards you for a little moment there. We know that he's roughly behind this sort of structure, these trees. So I do like to try to sit at the back of bushes as well occasionally, as well as on these outsiders to avoid just that. All right, players just spraying right into the center there. So try to sit at the back, try to sit at the sides, guys. All right, if we can make him think we're not in this bush, fantastic. He's going to be going for the... is he really going for the rift? Wow, he is. He's using the rift right now to try and spot where we're actually at. Forcing him down a little bit lower there. We are going to have to use these overdrives. I can see him just around the side. I'll try and use another one. Really doesn't matter how many of these we do use. Unfortunately, getting a little bit knocked back there. There's that one shot. Coming on down to the ground. We'll go and heal up here. Top of the tree, potentially. Absolutely disastrous stuff there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how it's done. Well played to NMN. Well played. All right, let's have a look at chat, guys. GG's. Not a bad way to start the stream. I tell you what, I wish we could have games like this every day. Not too shabby. We'll go back to the lobby there. We're going to go and check out, of course, some other skins we might chuck on. But yeah, let's have a look. So we've got State Actor. Good to see you, State. Most of my eliminations that I've gotten have been Tailspin players. Interesting. Okay. They're quite easy to beam. Yeah, that's the one reason why I'm not going to be a massive fan of the Tail Sprite guys. It's just going to be because of, you know, how purely easy it is to beam these players out of the air. That being said, you are going to have a massive advantage up in the air, especially if using things like the, is it the Mega Man sort of gun there, that AoE damage. So I feel like that could also be sort of room there in terms of, you know, having this potential to be able to get a really great amount of damage off as well. And it sort of becomes this, you know, back and forth, who can get the most amount of damage, you know, in that fight. All right, let's have a look what else. Pashko, you are great. Oh, you are, my friend. Thank you. Agmanate, best way to counter it is to force them to waste bullets. Good point. G-Wagon behind you. Well played, Butter. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate you, bro. Take that. GG's Payday. GG's Nana. GG's Bill. All right, guys. Let's try and run it back, of course, for the 2 for 2. All right, the back-to-back crown wins. Do we think we can do it? Look, I tell you what, I've got a very low hopes, I think, for the entirety of at least for the next week or two. And I feel like we got a little bit lucky there, but we'll see how we go. Of course, we do have the Lara Croft with a gold, is that the glitch sprite there, or the 8-bit sprite? GG's Silent Heart, GG's Elder League. GG's CC. Have a quick water break here, guys, and we'll get on into this next match. All right, where can we go? We could probably try out the Red Ghost here. I do like the Red Ghost because, one, it's got close proximity to this overdrive here, as well as Heatwave Harbor. I did try to do a video, I think, on this. It'll be coming out today. Not bad again. Guaranteed slurp truck. Guaranteed rare chest, guys. Great loot. There's the slurp truck right over here. So we go down, we'll grab a chest, we grab the slurp, we rotate on in, and then we can get any extra ammunition and guns we might need from the this POI right over there. So that's going to be my main goal here today. Let us come on down. We are having a player just above us there. Go for that like so, as well as potentially some ammunition. I'm going to go for the Oni instead of actually trying to use, all right, the pump shotgun. Just seems to be, again, a lot of one-hit ability guns here, which is going to be a little bit different. You know, we just came from a season where it didn't take you really a massive amount of time to get kills, but you know, at the same time, I do feel like it was a little bit more forgiving. So, really interested to see, you know, how Fortnite goes with these types of updates. You know, any sort of balancing changes and what have you there. So, let me know what you guys reckon in terms of the current state of Fortnite. Do you guys like the way that things are currently sitting? You know, do you find, you know, similar story to me, right, where you are getting a little bit too much damage from these guns and, You're either being beamed or you're doing the beaming. Of course, we got the flare gun right now, which is going to be exceptionally helpful in all game modes, but especially in these squad types of situations where one player can sort of, shoot from one direction. You can have other players shooting from the other. Picking up the assault rifle right now, we are going to now rotate on over to these chests. Right, grab some more ammunition and, of course, XP for the sprites. Grabbing the chest here now as well. And go and grab that. Beautiful. And now we do as well have the opportunity to go in for, let's see what NPC we have here. Guardian Warbles. Does anyone know which type of sprite this is? I would like to know where we can get our hands on the tracking NPC, but at the same time... Oh. Like again, guys, it's just a little bit silly to me. I don't feel like we should be able to do that, at least as consistently as we potentially are. So, we'll go and rotate on in now, of course, using this shockwave. Now, at around this time, this seems to be roughly when, the overdrives will very, very soon anyway be able to spawn into the game. I'm going to hide behind this rock. We'll try and get some golden weapons here. Again, 100% chance, guys, of getting a golden gun from these fishing spots. So, if you're not already taking advantage of these, I 100% recommend doing so. Of course, the golden drum gun becoming a bit of an opportunity there. I might actually go for the assault rifle here when paired with the Oni. I feel like you could probably pair it as well with the pistol. But you know what? I do want to try and give this a go. Let us have a look. We'll go on down inside here. Have a look at chat. Yeah, you can do it, Journey says. Bill says, cool, they have the GoldenEye pistol with, only 007. I thought that was a really good nod to 007. Yeah, that's pretty neat. CC says, nah, anything short of 250k followers is short. 54 people watching, that's insane. GG Butter, thank you, Mr. Pig. Thank you, CC. Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Wouldn't that be awesome? We do have someone actually jumping on down on top of us here. Now, I'm going to try to at least be a little bit mindful in terms of the overall amount of noise we're putting out top of here. Right, jumping on top of the roof. Immediately, my first sort of thing I do is I'm looking at the other rooftops. Here, we've got the hill over there. All right, we do, of course, have the overdrive nearby as well. But look, in terms of other players, we're looking a little bit shy. So, go and rotate on into another building top. Can I hear any visual footsteps? Can I see any of those footsteps are near us or underneath us? No. And there's likely not another player here. So, head on down, checking out some more chests. There we go. And you know what? We might actually go get a move on here, potentially. I do want to see like how often we have this double jump, though. So, let us go and see when we get it up next. Okay. This seems to be up pretty consistently, right? We should be able to double jump pretty frequently with the current stage of this Jackrabbit sprite. Checking on in for some potential cheeky types of chests or containers, but look, with 1,000 meters away, someone has just managed to get their hands there on that overdrive upgrade. Look, fingers crossed it'll be a global upgrade. There does seem to be squad-only upgrades, and then the global ones, guys. Especially when someone's gone for the extraction nearby. We could potentially check this out, just have a bit of a geeze and take a gander around the side here. Have a look, where this player might have gone. We are going to be on the outskirts of zone, though. So, here we go. Here is the match override. More XP. And more XP from eliminations, looting, and surviving the storm. That's not going to be terrible. We also have a slurp truck nestled in between here. So, if you guys are looking for, some of these types of natural heals around the map, come on down to Green Hill, guys. There is a slurp truck there. I actually used that to heal myself up in a duo game the other night. Actually helped me get the win there. So, coming on in for some cheeky overshield. If you guys don't already know, getting those little coins are going to boost your overshield by +1. Now, I'm rotating out because there was a player on top of that high ground there. I'm going to just hop in the car, at least heal it up momentarily. We'll go and grab this other car. I always like to leave one car on top of the sort of refueling pad there. Here, old mate around the side. third partying and definitely being sandwiched here. We're going to try and come on back down. The reason why we park, guys, is so I can do exactly this. All right, so we can jump into somewhere, jump out with a fully fueled and healed car. At repositioning. Okay, there goes one. I do feel like there is, yes, just one more behind them there, guys. So being quite mindful not to check ourselves out. Go for that reload. Checking, of course, these corners that he's potentially coming at us from. I'm going to simply just grab this car, go and heal her up. And again, what do? Come on down. We grab the car we left to heal up the other time. Now, they have, of course, potentially... Oh, no. I think a little bit of the tire there is going to be damaged. But when you have players like this who are going to very hyper-aggressively sort of focus you. We've got one other player down here. Simply going to just switch positions here. Oh, we are running with the assault rifle. I thought we were running with the Nemesis. The Ranger there. I was wondering why we weren't doing as much damage. Okay, this is going to be a change of pace here, guys. All right, try to, of course, catch up here. We do have the Sonic Ball as well. That would have been game-changing then. That's quite funny. I was like, I swear we're doing a little bit. Going to be third partied by another. Yeah, there he goes down. Just like that. Good on Rhythm Fluffy. We'll see if we can't use the flare gun here. Well played to Rhythm Fluffy, guys, with the drum gun. Beautiful stuff there. Head on into another one. Let's see what you guys have been saying in chat. All right, what do we got? We got greetings from California. Jason, Marky11. Greetings, bro. Yeah, Luca Destroyer. Hello at all. Journey, I miss PJ from Latte. Yeah, PJ was pretty cool over there. I miss Latte in general, honestly. That was a really fun POI last season. Speaking of PJ, of course, here she is right now. But yeah, really, really excellent POI there. Moster says, this meta is not forgiving at all, yes. That double jump, it's about 7 seconds. Okay. Thank you for that, bro. Elder League 54, I agree. You're either getting beamed or doing the beaming, but the third-party issue at the moment is crazy, and the fact that players can sneak up on you so easily. Yeah, look, it's a really great point, right? You have that sort of a couple of factors here that are a little bit of an issue. First things first, guys, they did, of course, do a massive sort of reduction there in terms of the visual audios, so that has been dramatically nerfed to almost oblivion there, so you won't be able to really see players until they're very close by. You know, and now we sort of pair that with these higher amount of players, real players in your games. I see both sides of the fence there. You know, you've got some players saying this is a battle royale game mode. You know, there should be a lot of real players in this. But at the other time, you know, Fortnite is very unique, and I don't feel like we should be limiting Fortnite to the other battle royales like PUBG and etc. I feel like it is a different type of resource in its own right, and we should probably treat it like that, right? So, whatever the case, I do, again, see both of those arguments there. Personally, I do tend to sit a little bit closer to that side of the fence of, look, I think it's a little bit more funner, you know, and there's not as many, or at least, you know, as many real players as they were at the start of the season. But you know what, so far, it is going to be a bit of a challenge for players. But at the end of the day, you know, if we are all getting better, if we're all sort of taking some lessons from this, then we can't be going too far wrong there, guys. You know, I feel like that's not a terrible outlook to have about it. Now, we are going to be waiting for this wonky game. Is that the Shadow Sprite? Okay, Daniel, if you're watching, if we can get our hands on the Oni shotgun there, potentially a drum gun, we could go and try that strategy out today. Speak of the devil and it shall appear. We are going to try this one last time, guys. Of course, you will get to do this game twice. So, shooting one target like so, we can pick up, of course, these mobility items and go and use these heals whilst trying to do something for the next 20 seconds. Keeping an eye out for any types of ammo boxes or containers like chests is going to be quite helpful. so that we can try to get especially some more gold, because again, we can be buying these overdrive grenades from the actual vending machines now. So do try to be mindful about that, but it does seem to me like it will soon to be time. So rotating on back into, of course, the game here. There we go. What do we get? We are going to get a little bit of the same. Nothing too crazy, but I'm going to take that as our cue to rotate on and out of here. So the best way to rotate out of this POI, guys, very simple but real quick. We'll try for a cheeky chest just to celebrate the exit. Got fantastic. Let us go for that full shield and heal, and we'll go and rotate out using this Ferris wheel, which if you guys didn't already know, you can actually use this as one of the best forms of repositioning in the game. So catching ourselves up top here, you can then let go to propel yourself to all sorts of heights. Shout out to Latte right over there. We can also go to rotate potentially somewhere a little bit central. I'm thinking we could probably try the Battlewoods. It's a blue chest POI. We've got Snowy Mountain up top, but we do have someone going for the extraction actually. This could be quite fun. So let us see what we can sort of analyze down below here. All right, we'll go for some high ground, at least temporarily. All right, cheeky chest. Will it have the Oni? No, it won't. That's okay. We do see old mate down below with what looks to be either the adventurer sprite or potentially... Okay, he definitely sees us. I'm going to be checking my wicked defenders then. We know that this player knows where we are. We understand that he's not going to be able to really get down to us here. In terms of long range, you guys are going to be a little bit out of luck when it does come to the drum gun. We could probably just try and see if we can force this player. Jumping on top of the tree right now. We'll see if we can't get the jump on him. Of course, there he goes, shockwaving away. Go for the reload. I want to change positions in this tree. And we'll see if we can't jump on down around the side here, using this next tree as cover. Okay, we do, of course, have this... Oh! Getting third party there. Try and, of course, make our way around the side. We'll play to Zeno. 714. Hop on in again here. Let us see what you guys are saying down there in chat. So, we've got Raphael saying there is a new scan AI. I use PJ almost every day. The new one spawns at the plateau in the middle. I'm sure you can look up what her name is. Interesting. Thanks, Raphael. Moster says, the girl with the sniper, yes, she is pretty weak though. I think that's my only sort of, one of the two concerns I have with these NPCs, guys, is going to be the fact that one, some of them are quite weak, as we know, and then two as well, they can give away your position at times. So make sure if you guys are using sprites that you're being quite mindful to use the directions, like the commands, that you can sort of command them to go places, to stay places. That's where I do think that you're going to have the ability to use these sprites quite effectively, but you just got to make sure that that's what you're doing there. 8A says, what sprite is your favorite so far? I'd probably have to say a tie between the Jonesy, maybe the Jackrabbit. The Jackrabbit did feel nice. Look, I've only had one game with the Jackrabbit. I do want to give it another go. But so far, it does seem to be quite strong. I reckon once I get in the hang of using it, you could probably do some pretty neat tricks with that. Raphael says, happy to be here, Butter. Been following for a while. Haven't had a chance to catch a live. Hello from Carolinas, USA. G'day over to there, Raphael. Thank you, bro, for your support. Silent Heart 25, hello from Tennessee. G'day, Silent from Tennessee. WTN. Tri-Counties area. Okay, we got some chat in there about a couple of people who might know the rough area there. Beautiful mountains, Raphael says. Yes, the mountains are beautiful when the leaves turn colors in the fall. I'll actually be visiting America at the end of the year, guys. Very excited to see that. A lot of really beautiful places over there. Payday says, I love PJ, but she was so griefing at times, sticking out of bushes. Yeah, I remember that, Payday. I think we were in a duo game once, and that sprite gave our location away pretty quickly. So, got to be careful with those sprites, guys. Got to make sure you're using those commands there. Raphael says, I had to learn how to really control her comms, move, wait, etc. Making them wait in bushes is OP. Yeah, how neat is that? That's a cool little strategy there. Get more lives. Yes, Moster says. We need good players footage. Love that. Well, let's see what we can do, guys. Let's try and lock in for this game. We'll see how we go. All right. I do love talking in chat. Let's see if I can get you all the win, though. Look, this is going to be the pump. A very decent shotgun again. I like the subtle nod. I like how we went sort of back in time, you know, having these throwbacks to these other really great games, you know, these consoles and etc. And they also bring back the older traditional, you know, Chapter 1 weapons there, like the assault rifle and the pump. That's always, you know, really cool to see. We could probably go... there's also a secret loot room we can go near here. We could try Shaken Sanctuary. Try it out. We'll go move over. I'll show you guys a secret loot room. If you guys haven't already seen it, it's going to be at this unnamed POI just to our right. But let us go down here. We might actually try... We could go Shaken or we could go here. I do like this POI as well because we have a lot of these Tetris blocks which you guys can actually break to heal you. So I think that could be quite exciting. You know, get us some of those, you know, quick and early game heals. We rotate over. We go check out the secret loot room there. Technically, I think we should be able to go and loot it up right now, but I would like to have full shield before going down there because, again, very, very easy to get beamed right now. Jumping on in into Sunken Shores, let's head on into this house. Of course, picking up a Ranger. Coming on into the corner of the room, we will have a chair, which we can get a very handy big boy from. Going, of course, for the pickaxe here is going to be the quickest way, guys, to remove these ammo boxes. And coming on in, we will have quite a lot of these barrels. So before I go for those, we'll check what's in this roof here. Right, we do have a chest nearby, so grabbing that as well as the blue tactical, we can go for this fruit box, getting, again, some more shields. And then make sure, guys, just hit the floor whenever you guys are near these barrels to be able to very simply break them all at once. Picking up the green there for the Ranger, we can switch out our items like so. Heading out of this house. Right, and again, we've got a cheeky little chest here. But because I do not have, alright, any form of sprites here, I'm not really massively trying to really go for that long animation opening time. You know, sometimes where it's necessary, like here, we will need to, because unfortunately, alright, there's not really going to be much to break. Going for another cheeky chest just around the side. I think we do have to break this, which is a little bit strange. I think they used to put the chests on the side of that sort of paneling there, but fortunately that is going to be no more. I'll tell you what else is no more, guys. There used to be a sort of wishing well here. I don't believe it is still going to be in the game. I mean, we could probably try it out. In fact, that's exactly what we're going to do here. So we're going to go for these heals here. So simply break, of course, these Tetris blocks like so, and you will be able to get these heals like that. Now, to do, of course, at least last season, to do this secret sort of loot, what you had to do was come around the side here over towards this energy grid. Right, you come on over and you used to, okay, repair the water pumps. It does seem to be still in the game. So that's quite exciting. Now, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is actually just shockwave over. And this way you'll be able to do it very, very quickly. All right, you come around the side, you then repair the water tower like this, and then you can make your way to this main water fountain to make a wish for some gold. This is going to give us some guaranteed purple and above loot here. It's nothing crazy, but it's a nice little mini game there, I think. And that could help you guys out if you are maybe just looking for a little bit extra loot. Okay, we do, of course, have that overdrive, but it does look like someone is potentially going to go for that. Try and just rotate up to the secret vault instead. All right, I really doubt, all right, with that current state of mobility that we'd be able to get over there in time. So, I'm going to have some footsteps here. I'll try and just jump up top. I think trying to ensure you guys are staying up high here, guys, is going to be quite helpful and important. Frozen Wolf going down. There's the tail sprite, and there's going to be the secret little vault thing. And now we'll just quickly crouch for the moment because I do want to try and get my hands on some health first. And then what we're going to be doing is trying to, of course, find that big blue light. Okay, so got a cheeky chest here. We do have that gold there for the Oni. But so long as we're going to be running with, of course... Oh, so long as we're going to be running with the... There it is. It's actually another player here. Crouching, being mindful. We do have those footsteps nearby. G-Force going down there. Trying to watch us from the bushes is a little bit concerning, but well played to them. All right, there we go. We go for the heal up there. We also did have some of those overdrives nearby on the ground, so I'm going to grab those. Jumping up with a right click here to get ourselves some nice height. We look for that big blue sort of light up in the sky there. All right, there we go. Let us see if we can chase it now, guys, because once you do catch up to it, it will create this type of thing for you guys to capture there. So we see it right now. If you guys also come over to here, I'm pretty sure you can just jump on like so. All right, a little bit cheeky. Coming around the corner to catch it. We can now pick it up like so. And again, we can see some more footsteps. So coming up top now, guys, we've got that vault key card. I'm going to go for the reload. Trying to, of course, spot where this other player could be. Right, I might just give up on him right now and instead make our way around the corner, and we'll go and head on into the secret vault room, and we'll go and see what type of loot we can get. So coming on down here, you will then go and activate it with your vault key, which will open up this secret little layer down here. Let's see what you guys have been saying. All right, hopping on down. We have to break these guys. You won't be able to just unbox them, but that's okay. All right, we do get the purple there for the 8-bit. Bill Green says, I like it that on the map, it is 2D like retro games. I do like that as well, Bill. Raphael, I'd be happy if they just fix windows and doors. Yeah, I'm 100% with you there as well, actually. The windows is a pretty interesting thing because I feel like it's a very easy fix. You should be able to jump out of every window, right? But it does seem like they make you a little bit griefed there trying to do so. Actually a med kit down below. We'll be taking a little bit of storm damage here, guys, but that's okay. All right, we go for the heal and we'll rotate out. Woodfin says Season 2 had the best and most helpful NPCs. I agree wholeheartedly. I think Season 2 is probably the best season of Chapter 7 so far. You know, Season 1, we did have the lightning gun. We had these other types of, frankly, griefing weapons and other types of situations there that I wasn't a massive fan of. Season 2, it felt like they really had it right. We had the iron pump. We had the twin hammers. Things felt quite balanced, you know, and because of that, I do think it was hands down the best season of Chapter 7 in my opinion. So let me know in chat, guys, what your favorite season was for this chapter so far. But a legendary there for the Oni. We've got someone going for the extraction nearby. I want to be very careful because there's a lot of bushes up there, which means if we come up there, we're going to be a bit of a fish in a barrel. So we're not going to want to rotate up to the top of that mountain. Instead, we're going to be rotating around to the side here and just trying to do a bit of a fade around into the zone. Moster says, what is your favorite override, guys? That is a great question, guys. Let's everyone hear it in chat. What is your favorite override upgrade? For me, it is probably going to be the speed shooter, squads only preferably. Although sometimes I have accidentally unlocked the global boost there, which I believe ended up costing me. Going on down now for the rotation again. Heading on out of the side here into zone. 10 other players are left. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been enjoying the stream so far, if you do want to see daily live action commentary uploads, make sure you guys do check out the channel and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button and use creator code. Surely it's butter the next time in the item shop. Going up for high ground here, we're going to try and capture Snowy Mountain. All right, having a bit of a glance down below there. Trying to see if there are other players, but shotgun's out for the close range just in case. Power tower up top, we scan that and check. As well as another Snowy Mountain just over to yonder there. This is going to be one of my favorite places to hide. Not so much hide, but rather just use as our positional advantage. Is also going to be a Sprite chest here. Of course, if you guys don't already know, let's come on down to the side. We have to tilt my head down to the side actually as well for this. I'll tell you what, that is, again, guys, I think the Sonic Sprite, I definitely forgot this earlier. When it comes to my favorite sprites, The Sonic is also going to be one of them. I think the speed boost here is really, really nice, especially if you guys are trying to, escape some of these more persistent and heavy-hitting players. Got a car down below there as well, which we could use to our advantage. I wonder if Car Tech is going to be back in the game. I dare say it could be. Last season, Car Tech did take a bit of a back seat there, metaphorically and potentially literally as well. All right, checking on down there again. Trying to have a look around these sides. Where are these other few remaining players? Now, we know that there is 6 other players left. There's actually someone on the street there. But if we shoot him now, we're going to be giving away our position. So I'm going to wait for the zone. Okay, it is pulling away from us here. It's going for the shockwave up top. We'll go for the reload behind, of course, the rock. And let us go on now. Of course, heading on off of this POI, we'll go for that redeploy with the downploor. And again, I'm not rushing straight towards the zone. Instead, I'm trying to really fade around the side here. Just getting shot at from behind there. Getting on and over. I will need to heal up, so there should be a vending machine, unfortunately, in the zone. But I do have someone with that tail sprite actually nearby. I can hear or at least see that visual audio there. Again, we go for another sort of redeploy here. Check how we can defend it, and I can see the tail all the way up in the air. He just got killed with the Midas's Masterpiece. Okay, so guys, this is why you got to be careful, especially with the tail sprite. Going up against the Midas's Masterpiece, unfortunately, does seem like a bit of a death wish there. So try to be careful, try to be mindful. Boar Worm, 10 gold coin, and the W. Thank you, Boar. Appreciate you, bro. Guys, your donations mean a lot. I really, I can't do these daily uploads without it. So thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. All right, we do have a cheeky bush inside here. We are going to be noticing, there he is, going for the glide. We could probably try and take advantage of him here. All right, 35 damage. Look, it's a little bit annoying rather than anything, but we come on down. All right, we'll rotate on into the zone. And again, I'm trying to look for some bushes. I'm trying to look for some... Is he on top of the tree? Could have sworn there was a player on top of that tree there, but fortunately, not today. I do want to rotate up to high ground, so I think Wonky is going to be the play here. So head on over. We'll use these base boost gloves, and again, I'm really trying to get this up to an epic rarity, so try and save our sprite dust for that. And I might also try and, off of camera, try and level up some sprites, try and extract them to sort of farm some of that dust there. Now, we do have 3 of these big boys, so in terms of shields, we're looking quite tidy. In terms of players, we've still got 4 others left in this game, so heading around to the side here, this would be really good to go and grab, guys. We can go up top here, right at the top of that tower structure. Should be able to have the highest zone, or that higher ground positioning in the game, which would be absolutely beautiful for us right now. Foster says, almost all the games I got to Final 2, I was up against a Tails player. Now, that's interesting. It is really interesting, actually, that, we have these type of situations where, at one hand, we can have something that can be quite griefing for players, but at the other time, on this other hand, it can be quite, actually, potentially, one of the reasons of why they made it so far in the first place. So, I think it does depend on the player. I'm sure there's tech with it, right? And I think that's going to be something that a lot of players are going to have to figure out as the season continues, is to understand, what that tech is. What is the best way to use these sprites? What are the best guns to use? So looking down below here, we do have, again, high ground. And depending if we get the zone, it really will be a matter of mere seconds here. If the zone pulls to another direction, that's okay. We've got high ground. We can easily jump off this and try to use it to be able to get that redeploy, maybe take it to Ferris wheel to get us a secondary redeploy if the new zone is further away. Dare I say that is probably the furthest zone away we could have gotten. So coming on up top here now, we will go for that redeploy if FORTNITE does want to give it to us. Of course, being marked now by a scanner is not going to be the most ideal thing in the world here. All right, a little bit of unfortunate circumstance, but jumping up top here now. let us go for that reposition. So left and right, guys, A and D key. Make yourself a hard to hit target so that if you are going up against these players, they're not so readily going to be able to completely beam you out there. Going behind the tree potentially to stand on top of right now. We are now going to be in the top 2. So just 2 other players, guys. Top 3, should we say. 2 other players are left here. We've got high ground on this tree, which is really, really helpful unless they spot us here. Right, if they spot us here, I want to make a backup plan. So where can we rotate to? Where do we have that's a position of cover and honestly positional advantage to be able to better readily react to these types of players? So we've got a nice sort of building over here we could run on into, go jump off, redeploy. Unfortunately, there he is right there. Please. Okay. Forcing him off of the tree there. Try and, of course, go for that redeploy to follow up. His shield is completely cracked. He's trying to go for the AoE heal. Okay. Having to make our way down to low ground here. We're going to have to take cover inside of this house. Go for that reload. It's unfortunate we couldn't quite get the kill there, the final shots, but it looks like these 2 players are potentially coming into a little bit of a firefight, so let's use this to our advantage. Whilst they are distracted, what are we doing, guys? We're trying to rotate around here, right amidst that confusion and chaos. Really? There they are down below. Rotate up towards this next zone. So, jumping up. Gliding. A tree is cover. It's really not great positioning for us here. We are absolutely, by definition, a fish in a barrel. Try and just capture this high ground. All right, beautiful. We are still marked, which, again, I really don't enjoy being marked like this. Well played, ladies and gentlemen, to Fusion Fox. All right, not a bad game. I tell you what, a little bit intense there at the end there, but good on, bro. The lizard emote. We'll go back to the lobby, guys. We'll go and choose, of course, a different skin. But if at first you don't succeed, what do? We try and try again. So, heading on into the lock-in now. Let us see what we've got. What have we not used in quite a while? I think the Bunny O'Hare skin is going to be absolutely one of my favorite skins right now. So, we'll head on into here. We'll check out these sprites, and we'll go and get back into a new game as soon as possible. In terms of our sprite dust, we have 1300 right now. Let me know in chat, guys. Have you guys upgraded anything here fully to the max yet? And again, if you did enjoy that game, make sure you do hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button and use creator code Surely It's Butter the next time you are in the item shop. Right, very simple, like so. It is just my name, Surely It's Butter. You search for it, guys. I do believe it resets every 2 weeks or a month or so. So, guys, might need to double check that. But honestly, a massive thank you and shout out to all of you guys who do those things there. Let's have a look in chat. So what have we got, guys? What have we missed? We do, of course, have Bill saying, I used Tal sprites with Guardian Shield with Mega Man Blaster. People hated me. I could only imagine. That is going to be one hell of a technique there, guys. If you do want to try it out, grab that Tal sprite. All right, grab that Guardian Shield and the Mega Man Blaster. That is going to be insane. We have Yuya Namoto in the chat. Good to see you, Yuya. I like dropping at Five Nights at Freddy's Arcade, just south of Pac-Man Island. So much loot and next to Override Station. I like using the Hop Rock Julies. Good stuff there. We got Chun-Li in the shop as well, guys. Really cool to see Chun-Li in the shop again. I thought she was quite rare, but here we go. Superhero skins as well in peak here. I think I've got the Polarity one. In all black, of course. Let us keep on scrolling down and have a look what else you guys have been saying. Aggie Kami, and this is why I use the Oni shotgun. You're exactly right, Aggie. It's pretty insane. Yeah, the one-shot ability as well is most certainly there, I think, to some degree with some rarities. Especially with that mythic that's going to be in the game as well, can be really, really nice there. Great game, Bill says. Thank you, Bill. GG's Bullworm. GG's Agmanate. Nana says. GG's Butter. Thank you, Nana. Good to see you, Action Jackson. Hey, Butter. Hey, chat. How you going, bro? Hope you've been having a great day and a great weekend. Sora says, GG's, Butter. Not a fan of that 8-bit shotgun. It feels super weak. Yeah, I hear you there. It definitely, I think it's moments that it has unfortunately fire and fuse. So let us go and give this Oni a bit of a try today at least. Let's have a go. We'll probably try and land up near... Where should we go? Could try Lifty. It's a blue chest POI. I wonder if anyone will go there. I'm just going to have a quick water break, guys. Ade says, Oni is the only viable option for zero build right now. IMO. I tell you what, I think I've heard Payday tell me that many, many times now. She's very, very much of a fan of that Oni. I think the Oni is fantastic. I think the overall damage output you can get paired with something like the Shadow Sprite, which again, guys, is going to reload your guns when it's not in use. So, as Daniel mentioned earlier in the stream, right? You guys are going to have this ability to use something like a drum gun and that Oni, pair it with the Shadow. Apparently, it's a really deadly combination. If we can find it, I think that would be really, really fun to, give a really fair crack at. So let's go inside here now. Of course, using these minis to our advantage, we are going to have Old Mate up top there. Go for the reload, and every time I do finish a kill, I want to try and get in that practice, or rather that habit, of trying to immediately snap our camera towards our weakest defended area. Also, Jonesy Sprite coming on down here, as well as a purple there for the tack. We can go for now the slow open on these types of containers, and we will begin our sort of transition up the top of this building here. Coming on in for the chest now, we are going to be picking up another Chug Jug, as well as a flare gun. I'm going to leave the pump there just for the time being. Because again, I do feel like the damage there, that out DPS ability, especially when we do compare it to things, for example, like the Oni shotgun, I do feel like the pump is just going to be at the middle child there of the shotgun loot pool at the moment. We'll keep the flare gun on us for now, though. I feel like that could be quite fun. The ability to be able to spot these players near and far and really just go, okay, where are you hiding? Where can I position myself to take advantage of you there from? I feel like that could be really strong for us. So, picking up, of course, a golden there for the 8-bit. Will it be able to do something, guys? Something potentially, if not anything. Right, let us have a gander. Coming on out now of course, your Lonely Lodge. We can go and rotate with the Shockwave. Right, heading around to the Pac-Man Island, where we can find, of course, that slurp truck down below. And then additionally, that chance for the guaranteed, at least, rare chest spawns, which we can spot right there. And then additionally some more, but they have actually, unfortunately, reduced the total amount of spawns there, so do bear that in mind. I was going to say, you can see these ghosts up in the clouds there, which are in the rough direction, actually, of the actual ghost islands, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a Pac-Man cloud, unfortunately. Some players down below. Let us go and rotate on in again. We've got arguably the best sort of long-range gun here, guys. The Ranger Assault Rifle, at least when it comes to the season. Coming on in now. Again, I'm going to try and just wait. Got a crown going down there. Okay. Go for that reload. Picking up a drum gun potentially here. Look, I think the drum gun's great, but again, you really need to pair it with an Oni or something similar. Let's go and see if we can't get our hands on this crown here. Oh. Not entirely too sure what happened there, but the Perlika seems to have just completely given up. Alright, there's a blue there for the 8-bit. But as you guys can see, as much as I wasn't entirely sure of what loot was actually on the ground, I was continuously moving. Coming around the side, we'll of course have these overdrives. Thought I could hear another player using that overdrive to also go for this fight. Go for the reload again here and pick up some gold and some well-needed ammunition. You can also go to rotate down towards these water lions, as we will have that ability to go for a fishing rod. And fortunately, alright, well there we go, nice pro fishing rod. I'm going to shoot that out just for a moment there, just to check, is there anyone potentially nearby? And let us get our hands on some guaranteed gold weapons. So the golden pistol and the stinkfish there. Nothing crazy, but look, another drum gun is fair enough. Go for the rotator with the boss as well nearby. We can actually go and use these shockwaves now to better rotate on in, and we'll have a bit of a gander over there and really just have a look, what boss are we working with? Is it going to be, of course, the Eggman, which, guys, is going to be the boss if you guys want to get your hands on that mythic Midas's masterpiece. Coming on and over now. I'm going to be using, of course, low ground below. I'm going to try and overdrive up to high ground. Always trying to shoot at these players from other directions is going to be your best bet. You want to try to discombobulate your enemy. If you guys can be an unpredictable target, 9 times out of 10, you should be quite unpredictable to hit. Now, this is going to be Hush here, guys. So, Hush will be dropping the Mythic Striker, which, again, a really, truly excellent gun right now in the game. I dare say I want to try and give that a go, but try and grab some of these extra coins here, which is going to be able to give us that advantage of having... Oh, there we go. Going to be able to give us that chance, all right, of getting that extra overshield there. So as you guys can see, 55 overshield, but watch this. We jump up, we get those coins, it goes up to 57. So every coin you guys get will give you +1 overshield. I don't believe it's permanent. I'm pretty sure if you get shot at or take any damage there, you do lose those coins. Sort of similar to the actual game itself. Players having a bit of a ruckus just around the side here. Go for the reload, of course, being mindful that we have other players in this lobby. So, being quite cautious here. I'm going to try and run over for the car. Right, like so. Right, old mate, of course, coming in. It's crazy sometimes how players can just sneak up on you like this. Go for that reload again. Oh, wow. Is that what I think it is? Is this going to be the Mythic Midas? It is going to be the Mythic Midas. Okay. Well, we'll go and grab that, guys, and we'll go and rotate out now. We've got full shield here, or at least the ability to, thanks to, of course, our Chug Jug. But now we've got that Mythic Midas. So, guys, are we ready? Make sure you guys do hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button if you were keen to see potentially some one-shot headshots here. All right, we had a pretty good go of it the first day when I managed to find this gun. So I do have somewhat high hopes here, but making our way over to the vending machine, we can reload these guns here. And of course, look, we've got 3 bullets here. All right, 4 to go actually in terms of its chamber. It does start with 7. So this might not be something that we take with us potentially to the rest of the game, but we'll give it a fair go. We'll see how far we can make it. All right, let us rotate back around to that gas station to heal up there, and then we can try and see if we can get some kills there. I'll try and read some of your chat messages as well, guys. Let us see what we've got. I got to get better at weapon switching with a PI. I believe you mean pump there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I feel like that is going to be something that a lot of players, are going to have that sort of struggle there. But look, it's definitely not going to be impossible. So do bear in mind, guys, that we will learn and grow together. Okay, there we go. He goes for the runaway there, which is honestly more than fair enough. If I get shot at, of course, by the Mythic Midas, you guys can best be sure that I'm going to be trying to reposition somewhere. So let us see if we can't try and catch up on them. They are going for the heal up here. Coming around the corner now. All right. He does shockwave away there. Again, I'm probably just trying to see if we can get that shot. All right, 2 bullets left, guys. Let us see. Yeah, we'll go back on in. Try to, of course, see where this player is. They're using that tail sprite. Is he going for it again? Try and take your time with this. I'm going to try and heal up actually and just crouch slide jump around to the side. Did hear someone go on top of a zip line. Oh, my mouse isn't working. There we go. Really, really close call there with the 8-bit. So again, guys, really, really weak gun compared to, of course, that Oni. We've got one shot left with this Mythic Midas. Look, a little bit rough there. So we'll have to be a little bit cautious around and consider it there with what shot we do take with it. Going for that reload right now of all the guns. Let's have a look what you guys are saying in chat. W, tap fire. Bill, of course. What are we saying, Bill? I changed my drop spot to cluster codes because over 100 cheat code spawns. Still found myself running my old Sprite chest route, lol. That's quite funny. We got one player to the right there. Let me go and grab those base boost gloves. We've got one player down below. Of course, Kaya's getting the kill there with the crown. See if we can get rid of Kaya's. Maybe take him off guard there with the cheeky... The last shot in the gun. Guys, this is the very last shot in the chamber that we've got. We want to make sure we can make it work. At least rather so make it count. Does look like he's going over towards extraction. But what I really want to get my hands on here is some heals. Feel like without heals, we might as well, just be running into a bit of an unfortunate situation there. So head on over, guys. I feel like the Sonic Sprite as well as what the Air Sprite could have been. I think the Air Sprite was great for a lot of players out there, but you know what? Unfortunately, for me, guys, I'm a massive fan actually of the Sonic instead. Go for the big boy, and we'll go and heal up temporarily. And then we are, guys, going to rotate on in closer towards that zone. Now, we will potentially have to give up the gloves there, but I'm sure we could find another pair elsewhere. There is going to be a car down below as well, so rotating on down towards this vehicle, we can go and grab this and then use this to make our way on in closer to that zone. Try and secure ourselves some of that high ground. And I'm going to make sure I have the Mythic Midas's gun already out. All right, we do have Kaya's eliminating red share with the crown. Let us go and see if we can have a look. We've got to crown ourselves, guys. Go and quickly stop by this gas station for some vehicle health, but especially that fuel. Of course, it doesn't matter how much ammunition we pick up. We've only got one shot left with this Mythic Midas's pistol. Okay, so removing that bush. I like to drive through these bushes if I don't plan on using them. Coming up, of course, the side of this hill here, we've got the extraction going on down, which could mean that someone is going for that. But what I'm going to do is we're going to camp ourselves in here and we're going to wait for an unsuspecting victim to hopefully use this last shot too. So let us go and wait for them now, guys. Of course, there is 5 other players left in this game. Right, can we spot anyone potentially nearby? Well, we know that there's someone going for extraction, but because there's no actual shots going on over there, you can sort of make the rough sort of... Oh. A little bit unfortunate there, but it is what it is. Well played to Blueberry. Would have much preferred to have saved that shot for another player there. He does drop us the minigun, some extra shields. So we'll go and pick up those shields like so. And again, we can just sort of really take our time to try to identify where these few remaining players are. But to finish off a point, if we know that a player is over here and we can't hear any shots, you can sort of make the deduction that there's likely not going to be another player nearby. Now, yes, they could be hiding. Yes, that's a potential. But what it could likely mean is, and judging by there's 4 other players, we know we're here, one's here, there could be other players around these directions here. Because again, we know there's one player here, but there's no shots nearby, so the other players are probably going to be elsewhere. And this way you can sort of go, okay, if I know there's potentially a player here, we can just sort of take our time again. Fish in a barrel, guys, just really be a little bit patient with it. We've got this new zone opening up in 16 seconds, so what do? We go and rotate. We want to be the first persons to the zone. We need to be the first players in that zone because we're trying to capture that high ground and get the positional advantage, sort of tilted to our direction. Coming up along the sides underneath what looks to be some adjacent cherry blossoms here. Let's come and crawl our way around the back end here. All right, and again, we're going to be quite mindful that we have still 3 other players left in this zone. I would have liked to have had those gloves now, but there's actually some really nice high ground opening up over to yonder there. So let us go now, guys. We'll go and rotate. I can see some shots actually in the distance, so players are getting into a bit of a firefight. It's going to park... Oh, actually, I really like that high ground up there instead. It's got a nice tree. There's water below it, so players who do want to try and counter you are going to have to put themselves at a disadvantage by going into the water. And we also have just excellent high ground. Rolling around the side there. Well played to Caius. Unfortunate stuff, but good on him, guys. Good on him. We'll go on, get into another game here, of course, using the Chug Chug here for the last few remaining players. Let's see what you guys have been saying in chat. Greedy says, anyone want to play some duos and watch Butter at the same time? Add me, Greedy480. Pranav says, dude, love your content. You always teach something while playing, which improves my game too. Thanks a ton. Thank you, Pranav. I really appreciate you, bro. Of course, Caius right now, looking at the player, he goes for the Shockwave with the, looks like the Mythic Midas pistol again there. So that is going to be something I have noticed, guys, is that the bosses don't just spawn once. You can find multiple of the same bosses. For example, my duo and I, we found multiple Hushes and both had the Mythic Scars. So take that into account. Bullworm says, been landing around Pac-Man Island a lot. It's fun over there. New building, kinda behind the Battlewood sign. Guaranteed 10 plus chests. Okay, so there's a new building behind the sign. I believe we might be talking about this one. We can go and check it out, guys. Have a quick water break, though, and we'll get on into this next game. Alright, let us have a look. We do have Dedo Po. The 8-bit can be so inconsistent. The amount of times I get two fantastic shots and then proceed to hit 4 for 27 while dude is drum gunning me down is more than I can count. I don't believe, guys, I've ever seen a truer thing ever said. At least not this week. That is so... it's crazy. But one time I bloody one-shotted someone there, and the other times it literally hits for nothing. It's very strange to me, but again, this is why I believe the Oni is going to be reigning absolutely supreme there. So we have quite a few players landing nearby. If we can, we'll try and go for the Pac-Man drop instead. Right, grabbing, of course, a gun there. Hopefully there's a chest in this bush. If not, oh, absolutely luck. Go for the reload. Shotgun as well there, I believe. There's the Oni making an appearance. We can get some of these heals off with these minis. All right, you ready, guys? We're going to try and shock Brock up top here. There we go. Manic Pixie going down. Well played to Manic. All right, we do have some more opportunities for heals here, but what are we doing? All right, no, we're not going to go for that. Instead, we're going to go for the Slurp Truck. Of course, coming around to the backside here. They're back towards the Snowy Mountain. Trying, of course, grab those heals like so. And now we can go for that rotate. And have a quick look in chat just to see what you guys are saying, though. Bullworm, always wished your videos were an hour long. This is perfect. I'm glad to help you there, man. Yeah, longer videos is definitely some type of feedback we've had from a few players before. So I'm really glad to be able to do you guys these types of streams every week. Right, every week at the same time, guys. You'll find me here. That is 8 a.m. AEST on the Monday. Or for the Americans, I believe it is 6 p.m. ET. All right, we've got plenty of opportunity for ammunition here. We'll go on over, of course, with this Shockwave. This old mate down below back on island. Go for that reload. Of course, he does drop us a lot of items there and potentially types of heals. So we might go back for that. But for now, my main goal is to go for this fishing pond. So here we go. Let's get some gold. Peter DeLong, cheers from the US. But watching your poolside. Gee, poolside with my boy. This is the life. Good on you, Peter. Hope you guys are having a great day out there. An excellent weekend. Gonna have that drum gun making an appearance, but look, guys, not today. Let us go and rotate up towards Snowy Mountain here, right, and see if we can't get some of that nice high ground positional advantage. Look, for me, in terms of favorite guns, look, I really do rate the tactical quite highly. I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone, though, and really give a fair go to these assault rifles. You know, I feel like that's going to be absolutely necessary here when you guys are in a new season, you know, to ensure that you're not just pigeonholing yourselves in what has always worked for you, and rather so, you know, really try to get into that mindset of, okay, what could work for me instead? It's coming up around the side of the mountain now. We can go and capture this as a very tidy form of high ground. And as we can see as well, we've got this sort of redeploy launch pad here to help us if we can't actually spot anyone nearby. In terms of shields, we're looking quite tidy. If we did need more, though, what I would be doing in the situation is going down to these guards, because they will have that guaranteed chance, right, of dropping those types of big pots there. I see Chips is in the lobby picking up the crown. If you guys don't remember, Chips is actually the player, a really, really good player that he went up against, I believe, at the start of the season there. So they did get the win on us. I think we came second to them. So I'll be really interested to see, you know, can we get some revenge here today against Chips? I want to say that this could be Chips right now. I tell you what, I don't like running away like this, but unfortunately, I don't think we have a chance. That is going to be J4F IBK Nitro there with the Mythic Scar. Well played to them, guys. You know what we've got to do. We've got to, of course, change the skin. Right? If we are not getting wins, if things are not going our way, the best thing you can do is sort of just cleanse the palette there. All right, we try something different. All right, what has it been? Quite a while since we've used. All right, we could probably go for the Jersey Kazuna Eye, one of my more favorite sort of lower key, comfy weekend sort of skins here. Let us have a look in chat. What else have we got? We've got Bill Green saying, use my Mystique skin and killed Eggman Boss. You keep his ship. Now, that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out, Bill. Shuya says, face reveal, question mark, question mark. Look, honestly, we could probably do a face reveal at some stage. We'll probably have to do that for a goal or something, like 10,000 subscribers or something akin to that. I'd be very open to doing that. We've got Hi Mister saying, nice RNG. It's a little bit like that. Payday, of course. I love that with the loot upgrades. You can potentially get 2 weapons from 1 chest. I've noticed a lot of chests aren't dropping consumables, though. Now, that's a pretty interesting take, Payday. Yeah, I do like that you get these extra weapons, but I'll have to keep an eye out in terms of those consumables, because that would be a little bit unfortunate if it is sort of taking that consumable slot and replacing it with that extra weapon. Wow, Holy Beam, Hi Mister says. I tell you, look, it's a really beaming season. I think they do need to make some changes across the board, and you know, in terms of these different types of items, you know, we've got a lot of really fun things to use here, but the damage output is just absolutely insane. All right, so let's try and run this back again at the Pac-Man, guys. Try and give it a fair crack. I probably should have enough time here today to do a couple more games or so. We have Pixel YT thanking the bus driver there. If you guys are tuning in for the very first time, if you do want to see daily uploads, guys, make sure you do hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button and use creator code Surely It's Butter the next time you're in that item shop. Okay, so coming on down, I want to try to identify at least a quick and easy to grab weapon, and then potentially a cheeky chest if not. We're getting our hands, of course, on the 8-bit, and the assault rifle is not going to be the worst thing in the world, but definitely, okay, guys, going to be something that is at least going to help us, you know, sort of carry that gap there. Coming up around the side, we'll pick up the Ranger. I might try and give a go, actually, of the, what we got here. Okay, repositioning now over towards, of course, the slurp truck. We'll see if we can't quickly get these heals. Now, technically, you don't even really need to do this. If you do get 2 of those minis, there's going to be plenty of those slurp barrels here littered around the island, guys, so do try to take advantage of that when and if possible. We'll check again for some cheeky chests. Picking up the drum gun. I tell you what, we might actually give that a go here. We might go the drum gun, and if we can try and find again that shadow sprite, fantastic. But an Oni would be absolutely excellent for us here. And I might try and give some love to the pump this game as well. You know, whilst I'm not going to be a massive fan of the pump, at least with the current way that the sort of game is, having that trajectory there, I feel like it might be something good for us in that mid game. All mates in the water down below there. I'm just going to make my way into this bush because I most certainly can. Having a quick water break right now, guys. We'll just hold on a quick moment. Alrighty, now we are back. Is that what I think it is? No. I could have sworn for a moment that we did actually have the Oni making itself known, but whatever the case, we'll shockwave over towards the golden fishing spot again, and this is going to be one of my more favorite sort of ways to do this strategy. One of my more preferred ways, of course, guys. I want to be trying to take advantage, of these golden fishing spots, purely because you're going to get a guaranteed, 2 gold weapons from it. You're also going to have that added sort of bonus. I can see a rare chest on the island there, of getting your hands on some heals, of course, and some other types of utility. For example, with things like a riff fish and what have you. Coming back over towards these slurp splashes, we can go and grab these. And then additionally, using, of course, not a splash, but preferably our shockwave. We'll head on over for that rare chest and we'll go and rotate up potentially towards Battlewoods. I feel like that could be an interesting play there. Try and take it a little bit lower key. We've got the Towel Sprite, of course, guys. Great and easy way to use it. You'll also be able to avoid fall damage like so, which is going to be really helpful as well. I've also seen some players use the Towel Sprite to help them go further using the shockwaves. So, waiting in one quick moment here for that shockwave to go up. And then using the Towel Sprite, you can sort of use it to keep the momentum there to help you travel a lot further. There's actually going to be a player all the way down at the water there, potentially going for a bit of a cheeky fish. See if we can't interrupt that cast, however. It's really trying to go for it there. Sometimes, guys, you really do have to give up on the fish, though. It's not going to be worth it. Well played to Kenneth, though, for trying to stick it out. All right, you got to respect at least the effort there. So, coming on and in, we can go, of course. Unfortunately, can't really switch to the base boost. He does drop us a car here as well, though, which is quite interesting. And plenty of loot. So, let us have a look down below. What have you got for us, Kenneth? He's got some of these ammunitions. We've got that pistol there, the Julies, which could honestly be quite nice. Got another player gliding on down to us, though. I would like to get him to try to hit us inside this car, though. If he can jump on inside. Really good. Okay, mobility player here. Now, they're going to be going for the shock. Simply blow out his cover like so. All right, see if we can't get him into the car. There we go. Oh. Gizzy Rascal going down. Well played to Gizzy. Guys, we know Gizzy. I think we actually had him in today's episode. Coming out tomorrow there, so well played to them. All right, we'll go and grab, of course, some of these items here. And fortunately, the pump did save us today. We do have a slurp truck nearby as well here, so going for that. And then inting in towards, of course, the Tail Sprite. We can use this as a nice form of mobility. I'm not a massive fan, however, of the Tail Sprite because it doesn't let you redeploy, which I do find a little bit unfortunate because I love that redeploy. Match Override Sonic Speed. Very, very nice addition there. Let us go and use this to rotate out now, and we will try to make our way towards this zone. Coming on in around the side again, unlimited sprint here, guys, whilst holding out that pickaxe. I'm Mr. saying, have you tried giving the crash pads a chance? I personally find they are superior to the shockwave in terms of mobility and rotation. They recharge faster and are also quiet, though they are a bit buggy. No, I haven't, but honestly, I tell you what, you could sell ice to me, my friend, as a God knows what. But look, I think that's a pretty good deal, actually. Look, the ability to have silent mobility, it's actually not something I've even really considered this season. So, you know what? If I do get that chance, you might try and give it a go. I actually really like using the crash pads. There is a technique to it, guys, to be able to use it to traverse in specific ways. Oh, unfortunate there. He does go for the shockwave around the side. I'm going to use that and then try to, of course, traverse. I know we can use this, actually, to continue to travel here. Was kind of hoping he'd be behind one of these trees, but fair enough. Right, no harm, no foul. Let us go and see where we go. We are still going to be on the outskirts of zone. We're trying, of course, traverse our way up and over here. All right, I, again, want to be really cautious about using the tail for that reason especially. Go, of course, for the reload, and I do want to be mindful that we have made a hell of a lot of shots nearby, so players could be trying to sort of rotate up here and counter us. So again, rotating out of sight. All right, we can go for the sort of crouch slide jumps there. Do find the sounds are very loud as well. Is that something you guys have noticed, guys, when it does come to these sounds this season, that everything is exceptionally loud? Go, of course, up top here. And using this tail sprite, unfortunately, getting a little bit stuck closer to home there than intended. I will be potentially dropping this sprite, however. Again, I do really enjoy having the ability to use that redeploy. So to have that sort of taken away from me isn't going to be the most sort of enthusiastic sort of outcome, in my opinion. Having a look at chat here, let's see what we've got. We've got Bill saying, oh, what is that? Got the that center rift there. Cheesy but helpful for rotates. Tail Sprite Sonic Sneakers combo. Now that's interesting. Oh my. Alright, I can't quite tell which way they might have gone there. Of course, trying to rotate around to the side angles. Let us go and, of course, head on down. I think he's still up in the bush. He is. Yeah, that's completely on me, guys. Well played to Dallas there. Well played to them indeed. All right, let's go and get on into another one. Dallas 151, of course, getting the cheeky kills there. And excellent stuff. I would have to say, I don't know if it's because the sounds are just so overwhelming right now, but it definitely feels like players are sneaking up on you a lot sooner. Like, you just can't see any of those footsteps there. I'm usually pretty good with the map awareness type of stuff, but unfortunately, it just seems to be absolutely crazy right now in the season. I do know that they're making some changes to it and have been making some changes, but you know, whatever the case there, guys, let us see how it can go potentially in that next game. Bill's saying you can redeploy with Tail Sprite double tap. No way. Is that how you do it? Well, okay, look, we'll give it a go next game, guys. We do, of course, get our hands on that Tail Sprite. That would be absolutely fantastic. We'll see how we go, of course. Coming up around the side of the mountain. Dallas right now in the G-Wagon. Hands down, my favorite vehicle. Definitely ever. I feel like this is going to be... Oh, he's in the car right now. Using, of course, a Tail Sprite to reposition into, of course, that shockwave. Making their way up now and around the side of this mountain. Of course, there we have the Dasher. Coming up around here, trying to look for Dallas. Let us see how Dallas decides to handle this. Of course, silent but violent is how they play. Most certainly, they've gone up ahead there. There we go. Dallas has noticed them. GG's, hi, mister. Let us see how we go in the next game, guys. Probably have enough time for one win or, you know, a close second or third game here. So we've got 20 minutes left, guys, of the stream. If you have, of course, enjoyed it, you know which buttons to press. And if you guys do want to help out the channel a little bit more and potentially get some perks as well there, like not really double uploads, but you guys will get access, of course, to those early videos. So I will be having an episode come out every day, and I always do the next day's episode as well there. So I believe that's our middle sort of membership there on the channel. And there's also some emojis that we got a really great artist to do for us there. Shout out to all of those of you who are members. I do see Action Jackson here. Shout out to all of you guys for that. And Sora, if you're still watching. We could go and head on down towards Heatwave, or at least even Green Hill. Louis says, hey bro, can you give me the battle pass please? It is my birthday. Pretty please with the cherry on top. What do we reckon, guys? Should we give Louis the battle pass? What do we reckon about that? I reckon we could do it. Louis, after this game, bro, add me on Fortnite. I'll give that to you. Let's head on down, guys. Let's try and, of course, grab some guns here. And we'll see if we can't, of course, run it back for a win here today. All right, the one sort of gripe I do have with the Green Hill POI is just how really open everything is. And it's really, really open. Yes, you're going to have that added ability there to get some really great overshield. But whatever the case, let us go and, of course, switch out some of these more bulky items and really trying to be looking for what truly matters to us, which is going to be a shotgun, this main gun, and, of course, the shield. Coming around the side right now, there's Nana No Clue in the chat. Good to see you, Nana, with those emojis there. Of course, we do have old mate actually down around the side. I tell you what, this game is a little bit indifferent at times, but we'll go up on top here. We'll go and grab ourselves some of these coins, and then we might just go to use this high ground to our advantage. Going, of course, for the big boy. I'm just going to wait. Okay, there's someone all the way over there gliding. Action Jackson sending the GOAT trophy for 1,000 jewels. Thank you, Action Jackson. Appreciate you, bro. Absolute legend. All right, there we go. Old mate. Just over to yonder there. Wait and see who's left. All right, can we get a cheeky shot off on him there? I don't want him to be healing unless he can see that we're here, which I'm absolutely certain he can. Okay, what do we reckon we do here, guys? You can only carry up to 3 splashes here. The boss is also nearby. Oh, is that the boss that I think it is? It is, guys. It's going to be the Mythic Midas's pistol boss. All right, so I now see why old mate is up here trying to, of course, take us off guard. Right, he's now being third-partied from this side angle. Oh, wow. Come on down to the ground, guys. Of course, rotating on in to these speedways. We can now use these to reposition and rotate towards safety. At least that would have been ideal. Go for the shockwave up top. Got a crown player down below. Oh, he's got the one up. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter that we've gotten the kill there. And again, this is going to be something, guys, that I really do hope that they will change in some aspect. They will be redeploying, so you can sort of keep an eye at them, I believe. However, I've never been able to find a player yet with this, so really interesting stuff there. Payday says you can aim to get out of Sonic Sprint, also heal while doing it. Now, that's helpful. Thank you, Payday. Jumping on down now towards that ground, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter how many times you press that redeploy. Fortnite, guys, this season, at least the past 2 seasons, has had a little bit of a bug with that redeploy where it doesn't seem to register it. If you guys run into that yourselves, I would absolutely love to know. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got some gold and definitely some items here. Foreman says, you should be able to carry 6 splashes, or am I tripping? I believe they nerfed it, bro, which is really, really unfortunate. Used to be 6, though. So, unless it's now changed, apparently I don't actually have a healing item to switch to, which is quite ironic, trying to, of course, stop that Sonic to grab it, but here we go. Of course, rotating on out through the desert here. I will have that opportunity for a Sprite, but really what I'm mostly after here. Molly Cupcake going down. Well played to Molly, guys. Big round of applause. Let's go, of course, for the blue there on the assault rifle. Daddy Laser, I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, better late than never, bro. Welcome to the stream, Daddy Laser. How have you gone? Let's go and rotate. We've got a long way to zone. Not too long, but definitely, a decent jog and a half. Let's go and get our steps in here. They reckon 10,000 steps a day, guys. So let us see if we can do it. I reckon we can do it on the way to this zone. Action says, I was carrying 6 splashes today whilst playing. Okay, so looks like we got another bug then. I tried to pick up more splashes than 3, but Fortnite didn't want to let me do that apparently, which is a little bit interesting. I'm really curious what's going on with all these bugs lately. It's a little bit unfortunate actually, because I do really love this game, but it's a little bit of some playtesting, maybe extra playtesting could be necessary there. Let's go, guys. We've got 3 overdrives here. We want to try and save these just for the time being. Usually I don't mind using them, but I would prefer to, of course, have, you know, a little bit of a closer positioning here to the zone. Of course, there is going to be our shockwave. And you know what? We might also try and keep an eye out for the Crash Pad Juniors there at these vending machines. So maybe we should try to exchange that this game. That could be something that's worthwhile. Kyle says, I thought missing the redeploy was just me being bad. No, my friend. It's unfortunately a very, very common bug, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Ashwin saying, I have the same one. I have the same with the 1-up. Fortnite should keep it for Power Hour, but remove it from all other game modes. Totally agree there, Ashwin. I think that's a very, very valid take to have. We do have action. No, we've got Philly to Sith. Well, welcome, Philly to Sith, another member of the channel. So at Louis, it's your birthday. No one in your life couldn't gift you $10 for the battle pass. ... Interesting. I feel like sometimes I should read these out before I, in my head first. Look, guys, we're going to go and rotate now. We've got a blue chest here for the Battlewood POI. That could be quite nice to go for. Let us go and, of course, have a look. Coming up here. Let us go and have a look here, guys. I might have missed a few chat messages, guys. We'll try and read it all out in a moment, but here we go. We grabbed some more ammunition, which we most certainly will need. It's got a player nearby, actually. I'm going to go for the shockwave up top. Okay. Coming around the side now, crouching. He's just given up. Not entirely too sure what that was about, but look, picking up the purple there on the assault rifle. I'm very grateful, so good on them. Let us go and have a look at these barrels here. Try and get, of course, some extra shield. Let us go and have a look. We've got Yuya saying, you have to interact to pick up extra splash. You can't just walk through to auto pick it up. That's right, Yuya. I tried to pick it up as well, actually, which is why I was really puzzled there. It was really, really weird. I've noticed this a few times, though. It's also happened to me with big boys occasionally. I'm not too sure what causes it, but it does seem to be a pattern here that it's only heals that this happens to. Though, to be fair, I think it's happened with overdrives as well. Got old mate Sonic going for a bit of a jog up top there. I do want to be quite... Oh, okay. Someone's going for a bit of a third party here. I just want to wait and hear. Do we actually have a consistent fight going on? Yeah, we do. Just wait for another couple of shots there. Of course, Sonic going around to the left side. We will jump up top instead. Go for the reload on the shotgun. Oh, he's got the Mythic Midas's pistol. You can see the little scope there. Okay, we just got to sort of wait for this player to give us an opportunity. I don't really want to force this because, again, this is a one-shot pistol, guys. Really, really great damage there. One shot to the head. If we do have this Ice Spice coming around the side there, then sure, we can try and give it a fair crack. But really, got someone else jumping on behind us here. Dare say potentially going for high ground. Go for the reload. Understanding, of course, we now have another player down below. I really want to get out of this situation. Right, yeah, here we go. Here's that Mythic Midas player coming on in. They've heard our shots. Go for the reload. Checking again how weaker defended. Waiting for a moment here to sort of go for that. Crawling around the side of these trees. There's a nice bush as well. I'm going to use the tree as initial cover. Well played to Romanticist. Look, point blank pump. What do we do there? About 150. Not bad. Good stuff. Well played to the Ice Spice, guys. Look, I'll try and get another game. Usually I'd have to end the stream here, but we'll go and give you guys one last game here. You guys have been absolutely excellent today with your support. So thank you so much, guys, for the donations. I really couldn't do any of this without you, so it really does mean a lot. Let's have a look. Official says, what servers do you play on, if you don't mind me asking? We play on OCE, bro. Oceania. You guys want to jump in and say hi, you're more than welcome to. We can do some emotes together and whatnot. But we're just going to try and see how we go and hopefully try and end this on a win. But if not, that's okay. Yeah, guys, it's been absolutely a lot of fun here today. We're out, of course, Ice Spice right now. Going on and down with that. Another kill there. Dropping a crown. Using the 8-bit shotgun as well here. See, this is where I sort of, not a massive fan of the pump. I feel like it's, again, that sort of middle child here when it does come to the shotguns. I feel like it's not as good as the Oni. Sometimes it's better than the 8-bit, but still the 8-bit sort of runs the household there at different times of the day. AZN Bourgeoisie says, hi, new to the channel. Wondering what region do you play in? OCE, bro. Welcome to the channel. Billy DeSith says, Butter, I'm not trying to be rude. It's just I know people scam streamers into giving them stuff by saying it's their birthday. Ah, okay. I appreciate the heads up then, Philly. Thank you, bro. That does mean a lot. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm definitely new to all of this stuff. I've only been doing YouTube for about 1.5 years now, so it's been really crazy to see you guys. What are we up to now? 6.2k subscribers. All right, we're very new to the stream, so I do appreciate you guys being patient with us. We do sort of, learn the ropes, the ins and outs to all this stuff and more. Bill says, geez, he was waiting to use that gun. Payday says, unfortunate. Really no counterplay there. Unfortunately not. If you can land a nice pump to the head, fantastic, but it looks like we were a little bit off-center there. Yuya says, give Julies a try. Exotic preferably. Okay, how do we get the exotic Julies? How do we get our hands on that, guys? Let me know down below in the chat. We'll try and give these Julies a go. I believe, not too sure I've got them added as a sort of upgrade there on the menu screen, but if we can find them. Have a quick water break, guys. We'll head on in. Shoya says, at Philly to Sith, I think that guy doesn't even watch your vids. He just searches for random streamers. Is that what they do? Fair enough. There's some hidden tech there with watching streamers. Fair play on the grind. We do have OCE, AZX, and you there coming on in. Let's see how we go, guys. We're going to a wonky drop strategy. This will be the very last game of the stream, guys. So do kickback, grab some snacks and relax. At AZN Bourgeoisie, that might be you, bro, that we just read out in chat. Best true weapons for zero build this season, I'd probably have to say Oni and... I'm still deciding. I want to say the tactical pistol. I think the tactical pistol is absolutely brilliant. I really do. However, the ARs this season are incredibly consistent. And because of the fact, the Ranger, great, long range, consistent high damage. The assault rifle, brilliant when it comes to having a fast fire rate. Got a player coming up around the side here. Just going to rotate on out. We will need to get one shot off on these types of dummies, though. If we don't shoot the dummies, guys, no loot is actually going to drop here. So we will need to absolutely take a shot here. Coming back around the side, we'll jump on and up. You can also use your pickaxe, though. And that will also count as a point if you guys want to start this game a little bit more silently. Ashwin says, I didn't want to say anything about the battle pass, but there is indeed a lot of people using it as an excuse. Okay. Go for high ground here, guys. We'll go and use this big boy to heal up. I've had 15-year-olds asking me for a battle pass, Ashwin says. The audacity to ask a stranger for a battle pass. All right, close range. The drum gun is going to be absolutely one hell of a pick here, guys, to go for. Really, we're just trying to get the jump on this player. So what am I doing? I'm crouching around. I'm using a camera angle instead of our body to search these corners. Okay, I can hear him inside. Now what we could also do is jump on down like so and potentially sort of wait for him at the front here. See, now we can sort of get the jump on this play. He's really unsuspecting. There we go. The override is well now active for constant health, so gain consistent health. And shield regen over time when not in combat. So that's going to be the Jonesy sprite there, guys. Global, which I do quite enjoy the fact that, Fortnite has made it so that last season some people's complaints with the sprites were that they were a little bit too overpowered, that, some players just had such a dramatic advantage there that it was unfair, and I definitely get that point of view. I like the sprites. Am I sort of getting a bit of sprite fatigue? Yes. Would I prefer them, of course, to be completely gone? Well, I don't really mind. I'm quite indifferent to it. But, I definitely do enjoy so far that the sprites seem to be a little less OP than they were last season, like with respects to the boss sprite, or the ghost sprite especially. Let us see what we get for the second go of this. So we get a golden drum. We got the blue there for the tack. We've got some drop heals there for the AoE. Thanks to, of course, the Tetris, but go and rotate out now, guys. We're going, of course, use the Ferris wheel to our advantage. This is going to be one of the best ways to rotate out of this POI. Having a look at chat, let us see what we've got. We've got Bill Green. Double tack pistol is fun because a small magazine, but quick reload. Couldn't agree more, Bill. I really like that. I had a lot of great success with it at the start of the season. Again, I'm trying to get myself out of that comfort zone, guys. I'm trying to pick up guns that I don't really like and that I know I probably should get into the hang of using. Okay, we've got old mate just down over to yonder there. I don't think we will be able to really get a cheeky little kill off on him, though, but trying our luck, we'll see if we can't go off around the side and really see what we can do, of course, by using this drum gun. Coming up around the bend here, we do get a cheeky chest, but with footsteps nearby. Go and just crawl our way around to the side here. Is only going on down, dropping us a blue there for the pump. Yeah, we'll go and reload this drum gun, and again, we'll try and keep our eyes out for a nice Oni shotgun and that shadow sprite to try out that new technique. I'll speak of the devil, and it shall appear. So all we need now, guys, is going to be a shadow sprite. So let us go and rotate now. We'll see if we can't find one. If we can try our Daniel's strategy there of trying to have that auto reload feature. We're going to do some absolute mischief. I tell you, when it rains, it pours, apparently. All right, we do have some players down below, just over to yonder. I can see one of them. So crouching around the side, of course, of this house here. Right, let us see where this player went. He's still inside the main building. I just saw him to the left side of the door. There he is. It looks like a peely skin. Okay, let us go and, of course, silently here approach. Right, there he is. I kind of want to try it out, though, to be fair. Which way do they go? Right, well played to Danger. Of course, going for the reload here. We will need to do this manually, at least until we get our hands on that shadow sprite, which we'll do so long as that it is not in our hand, I believe. I believe you have to be holding another gun for your other guns to reload. There's another player on top of the mountain there, but I could be mistaken, so I'm going to be a little bit cautious as we rotate down. And actually, because we are here, I'm going to try and show you guys a secret little loot room. There is going to be a loot room here over in the Golden Grove. All right, a guaranteed rare chest spawn here. It's going to be rather uncontested. Again, Golden Grove, guys, a very uncontested POI, at least in my experience. It does look like we're going to have a G-Wagon spawn here as well. So we'll go and grab the car. We'll go and drive her on down. We'll take a little bit of storm damage, but I do just want to show you guys, all right, where to go to get this really decent loot. So come around the back here. There's going to be a little drop down. You can also get down there from going inside the main building. All right, as we can see, we've got some interesting guns. All right, and similar to the Night Shift Forest in Chapter 6, you guys are going to have everything turned to night. Now, the rare chest is going to be by the waterfall. So we'll head on down here and grab that. Get a purple pump. All right, nothing too crazy, but again, we're going to get this Tetris here for the shield. We also have some more chests. There's also going to be access, of course, up top there. So if you guys want to land down here over at Golden Grove, but maybe you don't want to go out in the sort of forefront there, come on down here instead and then work your way back up through the main building. Okay, let's go and now use this car to get out of zone, and let's see how far. We have got a long way to go, guys. All right, that's absolutely crazy. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for any natural heals that we'll be able to find. All right, especially slurp trucks, which will be quite helpful, and then additionally those slurp barrels. Now, there is still going to be 20 other players left in this game right now. So here we are. I'm going to drive on through, all right, this form of, what do we got here? These fishing pole barrels. Trying to, of course, there we go, get our hands on a harpoon gun. Okay, we've got the thermal fish, we've got a slurp fish, but that overshield effect is actually really helpful for us right now. My only sort of concern with running with the drum gun right here is going to be the fact that we don't have that sprite, and we're sort of running that risk, right, of if we don't have that sprite, that shadow sprite, well, we can't really do the strategy. I feel like in terms of consistency, a golden sort of assault rifle here is going to be the better bet for us, at least a safer bet. And I feel like when you guys are trying to go for these wins, you know, when you're trying to go for a higher win rate and trying to get your hands on something that is a lot more consistent, is going to be a lot, well, more consistent than something that's just got a sprite here. That's a little bit more cheesy and RNG. So let's see what we've got here. All right, imagine it's a shadow sprite. Wouldn't that be cool? But unfortunately, not today, guys. Let us just go instead up on top of the high ground, and we'll have a gander down below. Having a look at chat as well there. We do have Shuya saying last season's sprites were way better, I guess. Last season ones had so many different abilities. You are so right, Shuya. Look, I really did enjoy the ghost, but look, there we go. We've got a player down below there. Just look, yeah. See, he's already gone. You really want to try and wait for these shots on people when there's no big cover like these trees around. Otherwise, you'll shoot one shot and you might land it, but then you won't be able to get really any other opportunities there, which can be quite unfortunate, especially now that you're essentially giving away your positioning. Coming around to the side here, we can, of course, go to the other angle of this cliff edge here. Of course, my driving ever so consistent in its own right. Let's go, of course, for the cheeky chest, and we'll have a look on down below. A slurp truck for heals. We've got high ground with the bush. In terms of the lobby, we've got 9 other players left in the game. So, guys, if you have enjoyed this episode, another weekly stream here every week, the same time, the same day, 8 a.m. AEST Mondays or 6 p.m. ET on the Sundays. Right, I thought I saw a person just over to yonder, but we could have been mistaken. All right, let us go and, of course, check on back here to our 6 here, just double checking. Do we have any players potentially sneaking up on us? In terms of heals, we've got 3 bigs here, which is decent. You know, I would prefer a chug jug. In terms of gold, we could most certainly go and grab some. But we will need a vending machine here, but right now I'm just waiting for this zone to really move on to the next stage, because this is honestly the best form of high ground so far in this zone. Coming on down here, we do, of course, have another bush we can go in. Checking our wicked offenders like this downward slope hill behind us to our right. Anonymous 261 getting that kill. And look, no sights of other players yet, which is really interesting. Can we get this shadow sprite, guys? Let us have a look. Look, it's going to be Sonic, which honestly, again, one of my favorite sprites, but I'm pretty sure we've already got infinite stamina. You can sprint. Is that even with guns? That is crazy. So we don't need to hold out the pickaxe now. Instead, we can do this instead. Nana says there are too many sprites to collect, especially if you don't play every day. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Nana. I think you're spot on the money there. I'm really glad that they made it so that you could have those increased chances for the late game. But overall, I totally get why some players did feel the need to really go out of their way for it, but also felt a little bit defeated, you know, at the fact that they might not have been able to get it as consistently as the other players who have a little bit more time. So waiting for the zone, we'll know whether we stay up here or we rotate to somewhere else. We'll probably have to rotate to someone else. Do see Anonymous 261 with that crown getting a kill. Bill Green says, definitely easier to get sprites. 6 hours, level 12, 24 sprites. Not bad. Not bad at all, my friend. Good job. Luke Nola says, you were so accurate when shooting. Hope to someday get anywhere near that. Oh, you got that, bro. It's just time, really, and a lot of patience. And I'm sure that you'll get there in no time. So, keen to hear how you go with that. Do let me know in the comments section of future episodes how you're traveling. Got old mate with the crown just around the side. Taking a time now. He's going for the flare. As soon as they pop out the flare, guys, you really don't have a few options here. You either want to just rotate around, but of course risk just being absolutely pre-fired into oblivion like so. It's pretty consistent, you know? So let us go now. We'll go and, of course, boost on out of here. If the car explodes, that's okay. We've got these shockwaves as well, which can help us really traverse up towards some more higher and safer footing here. So the Jonesy Sprite coming in clutch right now, guys. He's jumped on top of us, which is actually quite interesting. Fortunately, that overdrive is not going to be able to help you in terms of having... It's going to be quite a risky play here. Go for the shield again. Counter-rotate towards. There we go. Going on down. Well played to them, guys. Unfortunately, we are going to be getting knocked out by the zone. All right, we do have that jackrabbit. Okay, can we make our way into the zone here? All right, 10 seconds left. Can we do it? We go for the big boy. Oh, wow. Unfortunately, guys, I don't imagine we'll get away from this one. Try and, of course, make our way around the side. We'll hope that Jonesy Sprite comes in handy. That is going to be able to heal us up here. And that is going to be the only shotgun as well. Really showing you guys just how excellent, all right, it can be at times. And that's as well why I like the Jonesy Sprite, because the ability to have that, all right, it's a little bit unfair, but you know what, I really like it. I think it's really well balanced all in all. Let us go now. Top 4 here, guys. We get a med kit, and look at that. We are already pretty much back to full health and shield. Look at that. We didn't need any heals. We just had to stay out of combat. There is going to be the Julies. I feel like, unfortunately, all right, we are not going to go for those Julies just yet, Yuya, my friend. I want to try and end on a win here, and as much as I do imagine the Julies would be quite excellent, I have not used them at all this season. Now, is there a vending machine in zone? You know, this is sort of where my mind's going to, guys. You know, can we get some heals here? It does look like we'll have that opportunity with our marker just around the side. So coming on down. All right, we've got a med kit here, so we can actually try to sustain a little bit of damage. So we'll make our way around the side. All right, come on down here. We will be able to buy a chug jug, which is going to be great. Dare I say 2 chug jugs? Because why not? I'm feeling a little bit greedy. And now we can try to head on out here. Of course, using these shockwaves when we get that chance. Having to use, of course, a little bit of a heal here. Thanks to this chug jug. It's no worries, nor stress. All right, we come on into the front of this bush here. Okay, he's going to be trying to go away there. Go for the heal. And go for the reload. Now, he's going to have that heal as well, so long as he stays out of combat. Good little damage there with the 60. And now he's getting third-partied, which is going to be perfect for us to use this state of confusion and disarray to our advantage and try to rotate on into the zone. Of course, unfortunately, getting countered by someone already in that bush down below. Crouching now so as to not give off any of those visual audios. We're going to have to be very, very patient. So when you have ratty end zones like this, guys, where there are a lot of players and unfortunately not a whole lot of places to go, all right, we will need to be trying to get a move on here. Okay, go for the reload on the Oni. I think old mate's down behind that tree to our right there. Going to be taking some absolute heat. We will need to go for the reload or healing up ourselves here. Okay. In terms of shotgun, old mate's down by that tree. I wonder if we could shockwave him outside of it. The only risk that we have with doing that is going to be the fact that we without a shockwave ourselves. If we can land it, to be fair. Okay, zones, of course, opening up on top of the mountain. Trying to rush this. We want to try and grab the high ground for ourselves here. And I want to try to absorb a little bit of damage here. But we'll use, of course, this Chug Jug to sustain us. Now, this can be quite risky, guys. Papi dropping us the crown there. Go for the reload. And also go for the heal. Top two. Can't quite see which way they've gone. Some overdrives there. As well as a big. Reload. He's right behind that tree. Ladies and gentlemen, not a bad way to end the stream. Well played to everyone in that lobby. What a good game. Let's have a look at chat, guys. GG's to everyone there. Farmer Jake, the yellow exclamation mark means it's not in your collection yet. Bill saying, take advantage of power hours. Back out of game after searching cheat codes, cluster coast or heatwave. Payday saying, well, that was close. Had me holding my breath. You and me both, Payday. Hi, mister. Yes, same. Nice play, Butter. Thank you, hi, mister. Great end game. Ladies and gentlemen, well played. Thank you so much to all of you guys for your support. You guys have been absolutely brilliant here today. It was really great to see you all. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm going to give a quick shout out, though, to those of you who are already members on our channel. Just again, thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Action Jackson, GG's. Nice, Shoya. We got Ashwin, GG's. GG's, Sora. Great content. Thank you, Bill. You're the best, bro. Yuya, GG's. Let us go have a look and we'll go and give some shout outs here today. So we do have, of course, Holy Kings. We've got Oimo Buster, Grandpa Willie, Jahamas, Nana No Clue. Shout out Nana. We got Vinyl Joe, Isaac Last, Full Metal. We got ICT Dog. Shout out to RG Ajax. Hope you're watching this after the fact, Ajax. We've got Action Jackson. Massive shout out to Jackson, guys. Thank you so much for the donations, brother. Honestly, I can't do these daily videos without you guys. So thank you so much. We got Awa. We have got Adam Davis. Massive shout out to Adam. We got O for Fox's sake. We got Philly to Sith, the legend right there. We got Nack Morgan, Sora, and Shannon. Hope you guys are having a great day, Sora. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got Wes McKean, we got Julian, and we've also got a new sort of membership here. We've got the Salad Cremator. So welcome, Salad, to the family, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for stopping by here today. Right, nicely done, mate. Thank you, Sora. GG's Ballworm. GG's great stream. Thank you. Enjoy your week. You too, Nana. Guys, have a great week. Right, I'll see you all then. Thanks, Michael. And as always, take care. Garnier.